Okay, before actually jumping into the turning the camera on the little support guy here and watch me grind away on this stem, it occurred to me that it would be useful for you to know some materials tricks. That's not the right way to phrase it, but you'll get the idea when you see what I'm talking about. When you need a given curvature, you can buy this kind of thing here. They're designed for the purpose. You can pinch sandpaper around them, and they come in different sizes, but they're almost always round in the cross section. They're circular in cross section. They're a tube. And very often in pipe making, stem making, you end up with something that's not exactly a section of a circle. It's something a little different. For elegance, it's visually more pleasing. So you need to make your own tools. Now you can fabricate them out of blocks of rubber, but where you find this stuff and then get to grinding on it, it would be a nightmare. If you use harder woods, then you'll get glazing problems. You need to then wrap them in cushion. And anyway, things get complicated fast. So I'm going to give you a shortcut. This guy is a block of high density cork. There's a little symbol there that you might want to keep in mind. It's a little jumping frog, I believe. And you can slice this thing like a loaf of bread in any shape you want. It's cork. And you can fabricate tools like these of whatever cross section, whatever curvature you want, and there'll be just enough give and sponge underneath that the papers don't glaze. And that's because cork is somewhat springy. And what is this thing? Believe it or not, they're not hard to find. And don't go looking for raw cork blocks. What you want to ask for when you do a search online is yoga support thing. I don't know what the term in the yoga discipline is for these, but they use them, the yoga practitioners use them for, I don't know if it's back support or neck support, or if they balance on them, what they do, I don't know. But they sell them freely in yoga studios, and anybody who follows all of that knows what they are. They'd recognize this in a second. And you can get a chunk that'll last you the rest of your life online for like $25, and you're good. And you can cut it with a handsaw. You can fabricate it, shape it however you want against a disc sander, belt sander, file it by hand, whatever. And then you will be able to match the curvatures that you find in the stems that you're trying to replicate and not be limited to this kind of a thing. So that's it. That's that piece of it. Now I'm going to shut this off again and move the camera, get it set up, and you can watch me do a little grinding here. You notice I put a white stripe down the side of the blade because we don't want to get twisted on that or lopsided. And I also removed the tape from the area that's fair game to modify. This, what's now black, is freed up to, we can grind on that all we want. Don't want to go too far, but if we don't cross the tape line, we will not have jacked the shape that we're gunning for. We won't have destroyed it along the way. And that, by the way, is people will tell you a lot that pipe repair work is for fools, basically, that it's so difficult and frustrating, especially compared to new pipe making, where you follow your heart. You'd say, my eye sees this shape, and you just chase it. And if you're good, after with practice, if you're good, you come out with something good every time. And if you mess up, it just goes in the trash box or into the fireplace. But if you're working on repairs, by definition, you're always messing with other people's property. And the expectations are absolute. They're written in stone, because you can see the old one, and you need to make a new one that matches. And do it, we were talking stems here, and do it without the rubber being connected to the wood. So that's the source of the cautions that you hear from many people saying, don't go there. It's too difficult. It's too frustrating. Go ahead and make pipes. You'll find it's more satisfying, and so on. Well, that depends on your personality type. And to me, the difficulty in doing what most people get their butts kicked by is satisfying. I love to come up with solutions and implement them. And if I had to make pipes, new ones, well, first of all, I don't have the imagination. I couldn't do it if I tried. But let's say I did, I wouldn't want to do some version of the same thing every day forever. I like the variety of problems that are presented with repair work, because you never know what the day is going to bring, type of thing. And that's the fun of it. So I'm telling you this not to discourage or encourage you necessarily, but rather to just, if you understand what I'm saying, if this concept speaks to you, then pursue it. If you like to be a problem solver, then this is for you. If you think that, if you are easily frustrated and you think that working on other people's property would be too nerve-wracking, like crossing a high wire without a safety net, then this isn't for you. So that is my little editorial for this hour, and I'll now reconfigure the camera position and start grinding on this with files and stuff. Alrighty then.